I'm Aaron McManus, and you were listening to the Battle Ready podcast. You'll notice something a little bit different about today, that I'm doing this episode on my own. What are you going to say in there? I can hear you.
It's a little sad, but
Why is it sad? It's not sad.
Your partner in crime.
I'm independent.
You are, but also your partner in crime isn't there with you.
I know obviously you know this. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. My dad isn't here right now. He's getting ready for the Genius of Jesus launch. So I'm doing this episode on my own, which I've got some friends in the booth. Got Tess and Austin. And we're having a little bit of a conversation just about a few things, because we're not going to leave you alone on Friday. We're going to have a little bit of a conversation. But for the most part, we're focusing on the Genius of Jesus book relaunch. Book launch on September 14th. That's Tuesday. This is Friday. That's Tuesday. I'm excited. Our team has absolutely given everything they can to make this book launch seamless, phenomenal. And I am really proud of this book. I'm really proud of this project. I'm really proud and grateful for every single person who's pre-ordered this book right now. Hundreds, like thousands of people have pre-ordered this book. I made a little bet with my dad. We're not betting people, but we make like little funny bets. And I told him, I was like, battle ready people will show up for this. They will show up. We had a number of pre-orders, and we're just like a few hundred shy of that number that I said we would hit. Battle Ready's carrying a huge, huge weight in this. So that's all I'm saying. You can buy it if you'd like. You can pre-order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, singular, noble, not nobles, not noblesse, noble.
Well, you're doing a book club, right?
Doing a book club?
You are.
I am doing a book club.
When does it start?
My book club starts the first week of October.
Love it.
So you can sign up for the book club, but the only way to sign up is to pre-order for the book. So you got to pre-order. You only have 5 days.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Are we letting Tuesday count?
No, because it'll be out on
Tuesday. It'll be out on Tuesday, so no.
4 days.
4 days. What are you waiting for? I want you to look in the mirror right now. I just want you to ask yourself,
what is happening?
Why are you waiting?
Oh my gosh.
That's all I have for you right now.
This turned into a spoken word piece.
This is not a spoken word piece. This is just, you know what? I listened to a lot of ESPN last night. I watched the Djokovic-Berrettini match, the US Open. I watched the first set. Some of the best tennis I've ever watched in my entire life. I don't really like golf. I do like tennis. It was pretty incredible to watch. Last week, we went to our first movie in LA, in the theaters, in probably over like a year. Why are you laughing in there?
I'm laughing because you could literally talk to no one.
It's a gift, isn't it? I have one thing we're going to like talk through and get through, but...
Keep going. You're crushing it.
We might be editing them out. Last week I took my dad to go see the first movie in theaters. We haven't seen a movie in the theater in probably a year. We had to drive an hour and a half to Orange County, an hour, 15 minutes to Orange County to go see Tenet. And that's the last movie I think I've seen in the theaters. We went and saw Shang-Chi, the newest Marvel movie. This is not an ad. This is just me talking about things that I like. We went and saw this movie. It's the first Marvel movie with a Chinese lead. Mm-hmm. Chinese male and female lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awkwafina's in it. If you don't know who that is, if you think Awkwafina is a water, you are so wrong.
So wrong.
She's in Crazy Rich Asians. Mm-hmm. She's also in Shang-Chi. And there's this moment in the movie. Well, one, it's most of you, I feel like so many people are listening to this podcast outside of LA and you don't know what I'm talking about. Like the regulations are still kind of weird in LA. So you've been living in a free world. We're broadcasting from, the semi-free world of California. So here's this moment in the movie. I'm not going to give much away, but I will say this. I absolutely loved the film. Mm-hmm. Have you seen it, Tess?
I have not.
Have you seen it, Austin?
It's so good.
It's so good. I want to see it again. We really want to see it again. I want to see it multiple times. I think it broke a record.
Yeah, for Labor Day.
For Labor Day.
Yes. Biggest Labor Day release ever.
And it wasn't even open in China yet.
Right.
So that's exciting. Once it opens in China, it's gonna
go crazy.
Go crazy. Okay, so here we go. This movie is the thing about Marvel. I'm such a big Marvel fan. I grew up on the comic books. My dad was a huge fan. He got me into X-Men really young. When I came home from school, that was the thing I wanted to do. The first thing I wanted to do. I always got there at Tasmanian Devil was still on. And my mom would go, well, you have 30 minutes to watch TV. And I'd be like, well, Taz is on. I'll take my 30 minutes sometime at a different time, at a later date. And so I would do homework for half an hour. And then when 4:30 rolled around, I was watching X-Men. So Marvel's big in my family. So this movie, I was unfamiliar with the storyline. I was unfamiliar of its existence. Did you know it existed, Austin?
No, I'd never heard of it.
I had never heard of it. There's billboards everywhere in Los Angeles about it. I'm really excited. I go to see it. And to be honest, I'm okay if we don't have another Marvel movie for a while. That's how I was going in. That was my feelings before going into this film. I didn't really want to watch another Marvel movie. There's a lot going on. Disney does what Disney does and puts Marvel everywhere, Star Wars everywhere. And it's not as special as it was before. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Black Widow was painful.
Drama too.
Drama. We're not even going to go into that. I'm just grateful they had a woman lead.
Yes. That was
a female lead, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She got her money on that one.
Well, did she?
I got a nap in that one though. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't know if she is the part of the drama. We're not going to get into that. We're talking about I can't say it. Shang-Chi. I go in. I'm excited because I haven't seen a movie in a while, but a little bit hesitant because I don't know if I wanted it to be the first Marvel or the Marvel movie is the first movie I see. So we go in, we watch it. In the first 15 minutes, I am laughing, like rolling. This movie is hilarious. Yeah. Awkwafina's hilarious. The lead is hilarious. And there's some surprises along the way. I'm not going to give too much away. But there's a moment where Awkwafina, who is like the comedic relief in the film, is talking with an older woman who is teaching her how to shoot a bow and arrow. And Awkwafina, I think, is saying, I don't really shoot arrows in San Francisco where she's from. And the older woman said, if you aim at nothing, you will hit nothing. And I cannot tell you, but I got like kind of teary-eyed a little bit. I like choked up. I pulled my phone out. I wrote it in my notes on my phone. And I just figured I want to spend a few minutes talking about that. Because I think there's so many times in our lives, I wonder about you guys in the booth, but we aim at nothing and so we hit nothing. This is gonna be like the predicating conversation question build up to then my dad will probably hopefully answer this when he comes on next week during our Genius of Genius. During our Genius of Jesus post-release conversation. But I want to have this conversation because my dad is a huge, huge believer in saving nothing for the next life, never giving up. That's the entirety of The Last Arrow, which is funny because this moment is a moment about bows and arrows, and he wrote a book called The Last Arrow about literally saving nothing. If you don't try, you never will. Mm-hmm. But I wonder how many areas, zones, places in our lives that we just don't even make an attempt. Mm-hmm. You know, whether it's dating and relationships, whether it's businesses and going for it, whether it's applying for a job or moving across the country, taking a risk. I don't know, Austin, you got anything in there?
I have a question for
Hey, Tess.
you.
Ask me a
Okay,
question.
Like, what's your strategy? Are you like, I'm gonna crush these 3 arenas in my life?
Which 3 arenas am I crushing?
Any, like whatever ones you choose, or do you give yourself, like, do you try to attempt strength in every arena and then you're exhausted, or like, are you like, I'm gonna crush fitness, I'm gonna crush health for this season, or are you like, I'm gonna try and do like dabbles in every area? Does that make sense?
I think I've been a dabbler.
Okay.
And I think the dabbling has left me a little unprepared.
Okay, why so?
Because I think, we talked about this on this podcast before. I think it's on our Instagram that the podcast is for the mind, body, and soul.
Mm-hmm.
That it isn't about being physically battle ready, that is important. The body is important, but it's also about being mentally ready and spiritually ready, and letting your soul be ready and doing all of the preparation to go into hard moments in life. I think there have been times of my life where I just get in my head, I get exhausted, I stop working out, I stop challenging my mind, I stop, and maybe because my heart hurts, or maybe because I've broken up in a relationship, or they're usually always about relationships for me.
Totally.
Like, people really matter to me.
Yeah.
So I think in those moments, I stop like aiming at anything.
Mm.
And then I end up just letting kind of the internal voice of like negativity and self-abandonment,
Mm-hmm.
or, just
It's the crawling of the whole.
It's like not quite a victim mentality, but going like, will anyone ever love me, or am I worthy of love? Like, there's a big one in my life, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone struggles with it. During COVID, I think a lot of it was loneliness. And like, one thing that we're figuring out is that people really struggled, because I think it was like, what is the target we're trying to aim at? We don't even know, because
Totally.
you're told to stay in your homes. You're told that everything's trying to kill you, that you might be killing someone else by being irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
And wherever you lie on the political spectrum of those thoughts, everyone, for the most part, if you're in a major city, went through a shared experience of probably confusion, a little bit of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And we're reminded that in moments when we interact with other people, going, we have all experienced something that we will never forget.
Right. Okay. So when you are in the hole,
How do I get out of it?
yeah, or or like how do you start to see, I guess, to keep it on brand, how do you start to see what you're aiming for?
I talked to you this morning. I said, hey, I'm really sorry for being such a bad leader the last few months.
Yes.
I've been like a little depressed, a little in my, very much in my head,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a sad boy,
Okay.
sad man. I guess I'm a man now.
So just like saying you're owning it. You're like,
I was owning it.
Okay.
Well, you were there.
I know, I'm just saying, but like saying it out loud, that's helpful for you.
I think going to the people that it affects the most and going, look, I'm sorry for being this way. These are the things I'm trying to do to make it better.
Totally.
So I've started running again,
Mm-hmm.
started working out,
Mm-hmm.
went to the doctors.
But it's crazy. Like, I saw you this morning and I'm like, you look sharp. Like, you look energized, and it looks like you have like a sense of clarity, and that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it feels awesome. I think this, if you're trying to figure out what to aim at, I think you got to ask some people.
Totally.
I go to your husband a lot and go, hey, is this a good trajectory?
Uh-huh.
I talk to my dad a lot. Am I on the right path? I think during COVID, the end of COVID, I really, like right now, like, I don't know if I want to be a pastor, but
Okay.
I love Mosaic,
Mm-hmm.
and I love our team, and I don't want to stop doing creative, but I don't know if I'm like called to pastor people and be a spiritual lead.
Okay.
It's heavy,
It is.
right? But I am called to build the church. I am called to build businesses. I am called to build people. And so, I was losing track of what I was aiming at.
Got it.
And so I think it's okay to have seasons where you go ask people, what are some targets I need to aim at to achieve becoming better?
Totally.
Whether it's, increasing my physical self, increasing my mental self, or increasing my soul, my spiritual self.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think also surrounding yourself with people who can steer you along the way, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing to figure out what you're shooting at. It's another thing to like build the circle around you with people who can help you get there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
right? We're on a pilgrimage. We're on a journey, and you can't do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it alone is the most empty feeling,
Totally.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm getting out of a season where I've been doing everything alone,
Yeah.
even though I was with people. And I even said to you, I sit in this office, which is the Bad Already podcast room, and it started out of necessity because I was on the phone a lot and I was working on websites when we were launching McManus. And then I stopped leaving this office. But if you go next door, there's just a bunch of tables everywhere.
Yeah.
And everyone sits together, everyone has coffee, everyone hangs out, everyone works. And I removed myself from that.
Right.
And I realized that like so often I will remove myself from like the fight or the game or the what is it? Like the mission because I just get in my head.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So sometimes we can be our own worst enemy.
Absolutely, I agree.
What are you aiming at, Tess Roy?
Oh my gosh. I will agree with you that the last year it was aiming for survival.
Just to survive? It felt like that,
it
right?
It was like, oh my gosh, I know I'm in the hole and you might be in another hole next door. So we're all in holes together. And so it was just like finding.
It was holy.
Yikes. Oh yeah. It was holy. You could say that.
Yeah.
But it was just survival. So I think getting to that place where it's like looking forward to things.
Okay.
You know? Like it's really, I think it's really special and fun to look forward to things. And I don't know. What about you, Austin?
Yeah. I mean, a big thing we've been aiming at is the book launch. That's
totally
super exciting.
It is super exciting. But you know, I think like, I don't know. I get lost sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like whenever I'm shooting at something, it's never like a direct line. It's like a roller coaster with loops.
Would you say like as soon as you say it out loud that you're lost, that it feels like immediately better?
Yeah, but it also feels like your iPhone is like on 1%.
Oh.
She's like, I'm lost, but I'm lost, but my iPhone's also, I'm on 1%, so I need to recharge.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So maybe the things for this, if you're trying to figure out what to aim for, Tess, what would your answer be to someone?
I would also agree with what you said, which was aim towards people, because one, doing life with people is so much more fun.
Right.
Than doing it by yourself.
Right.
And also it is that accountability aspect of, okay, I'm going to be honest with you and let you in on my life in hopes that you will provide critique, provide like hope. It is that like hope and critique balance where it's like, I do want to get better, but I do want to do it with you, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think if you don't have people professionally and personally and spiritually that help, it's so easy for us to understand why you would go see a trainer.
Right.
If you can afford a trainer, why you would pay someone to yell at you to go harder and to lift more and to swim faster, to run faster, to bike, to cycle. We live in LA. There's boxing classes, cycling classes.
Choose your fighter.
Choose anything. Like there used to be a next to Blue Bottle Test. Do you remember that surfboard class? Do you remember like they had sand? It was only there for like a little bit.
Oh yes.
There's always bizarre ways to stay fit in LA.
Uh-huh.
Because they're always looking for the next trend.
Yeah, exactly.
But people
understand. People do it though.
People get it. They understand.
I was looking up Pilates classes today.
Were you?
Yeah.
I did Pilates.
It
I don't think you can say anyone likes Pilates.
No, I do like it. It's like that burns so good feeling. But were you on a reformer?
I was on a reformer. It was like definitely 50 Shades of Grey vibes.
What are you talking about?
There's just like things going everywhere. I've never seen that movie, but I heard it's weird. So it was my reference of weird.
Things going everywhere. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
It's very hard.
It is not fun to be in a class where the trainer is laughing at you.
Yeah, that's a little tough.
You know, it is also like a reminder. My sister loves to remind me this a lot, that women are just like very powerful.
Absolutely.
So whenever I go, which obviously women are powerful. My life is run by women. My boss is a woman. My sister's a woman. My mom's a woman. My wife will be a woman.
All good things.
Yes. But I was on the reformer and she's like chuckling a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm shaking.
It is very. You
I was shaking like Andre 3000 in Hey Ya. Shake it like a salt shaker.
You're full. You are full of them today.
Okay. So here's my thing. This is the question I'm going to set up for my dad when he comes in next week, and hopefully he can just like go at it. If you aim at nothing, you will hit nothing. So how do we better our aim?
Love it.
Find the target we need to find. And then how do we actually achieve hitting it?
I love it.
Because I think sometimes I get lost on the journey. I know that. I can almost see the thing in front of me, and I can, 1,000, a million things will get in between me and it.
Yeah.
Some I will allow to get in the way, and some things that just happen. It's just life.
Right.
So how do you handle those moments on the journey to achieving what you're achieving? All right.
Love it.
We'll jump into next week.
Yep. Let's do it. Do you want to give away that hat?
Let's give away a hat.
Hey.
Okay, if you're listening to this podcast, we are doing a Genius of Jesus hat giveaway on the Battle Ready Podcast Instagram. So, how you can get this hat? It says the Genius of Jesus. It's pretty sick. Has our little M logo on the side. It's my dad's name on the back. It's a pretty sick hat. It's a two-tone hat. You can go to the most recent post on Battle Ready Podcast Instagram, the post I post on Friday for this episode, and you can tag 3 people. What else do they have to do, Tess?
They have to follow at Erwin McManus.
Go follow my dad.
And do you want them to sign up for your book club, or is that a lot?
That's on them.
Okay.
They can sign up if they want to sign up.
Okay.
But you definitely need to pre-order the book.
Yes. How will they show you that they pre-ordered the book?
DM me the photo. But tag 3 people on the Instagram. That's the easiest way. Tag 3 people in the comments on the Instagram to win this hat. We'll send it to you. We'll announce you.
We will.
Yeah?
That's great.
Perfect. And then you'll send us a photo of you wearing the hat. We'll post a selfie of you.
Love it.
All right. This is the Battle Ready Podcast. My name is Aaron McManus. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Tess Roy and to Austin St. John for being in the booth, being my backup. We are so excited for this book coming out. We're so excited for the new podcast that is out, The Genius of. The most recent episode is with a chef named Karen from Mexico City at a spot called Nido that has a special place in my heart. So go check it out. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes podcast, whatever you want to do. Apple Podcasts. Is it still iTunes? Is iTunes still a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, if you have not yet, rate and review this podcast on Apple Music Podcasts. Please go and do it. We have 810 reviews.
So many, yeah.
I want to get it to 1,000.
Come on.
If you haven't, take 2 minutes. Take 3 minutes. Look yourself in the mirror.
Oh, no, not this again.
Tell yourself, today's the day I'm going to rate and review the podcast. We are so grateful. My name is Aaron McManus. Again, thank you so much. Have a great week.